The topic of going to university is one of the most significant choices that you have to make in early life, which can quite literally change your foreseeable future. My name's Callum, I'm 19, and believe it or not, but I didn't go to uni, but a year and a half ago, I was in the position that you probably are right now. Assuming you are, because you're watching this feeling a bit overwhelmed with no sense of direction and kind of dead in the water whether uni is the right next step or the right path for you. And when I was trying to decide, there were very few videos like this just to provide clarity on what the best next step is and the truth behind whether uni is a good decision and what the reality of it looks like. And so I'm going to be that person for you. I'll give you the pros and cons and all the information that you need to make a next decision. And of course, I make this very from a biased perspective. I'm not going to you myself and not thinking it's a good idea, but I'm still going to argue both sides of the table and even argue against AI and ask them why uni is a good idea, and then of course challenge them and, well, tell you the truth. So stay with me for the next 7-ish minutes and I promise you'll leave with a clear mind. So there are advantages to going to university, and for some it's the only logical next step. If you're looking to go in a profession that requires you to obtain a certain amount of knowledge from the education system and receive some sort of certificate, some sort of degree, then uni is the only next step for you. This is if you're going to be like a doctor or a lawyer or something along those lines. And that's a life choice that you have to make it stick by, because there are no shortcuts, and props to you for doing that completely. But the problem is that the majority of people go to university because they don't know what they want to do, and it all spouts from uncertainty. University feels like the next best step for a lot of people because you don't have to take any control. I mean, throughout the whole of your educational kind of lifetime, you haven't had to take control. Your days have been mapped out for you. You're told when to wake up, when you can go to the toilet, when your break times are, and university is almost an extension of that. Of course, you have more control because you're living on your own, right? And you're in control of your own time, but your life is kind of already given a purpose. Your days are given a purpose. You're given a reason to wake up, all this kind of stuff, because you're working towards a degree. End of story. And as I said, there are advantages for you to go to uni. I mean, depending on which one you go to, it could provide you with valuable education, career opportunities, networking opportunities, and that's what you heard, right? But typically, you hear all the pros, but not any of the cons. Valuable education, but you're left with 50k in debt and you've lost 4 years of your life. Networking opportunities, but they're not guaranteed at all, and networking is just basically you going out of your own way, so uni has nothing to do with that. Career opportunities, but the graduate job market is so overcrowded that there's no actual jobs for graduates at all. And it's also important to break down why you are actually considering the uni route. Is it because your friends are doing it? Is it because your parents are telling you to do it? Is it because your teachers have told you to? And there is a hidden agenda to why you're told that university is the next best step for you. No fugazi conspiracy theory thing, just straight facts. I mean, let's think about it logically. You've been told that university is a logical path to go down since you were a child, but why is that? If you go to a British school, then you probably remember career advisors coming in, university representatives, to give you advice on how to take the next step in your life with a very strong agenda to go down the uni route. I remember when I had a meeting with my career advisor and I literally told them that I wanted to start a drone photography company, and they went, got it, go do photography at university. I mean, any logical person would know that that would not help me whatsoever. So why do they push this agenda of university so hard? The first reason is because the more students at the colleges can get to go from college to university, the more points they get, the higher they are ranked. But ultimately, who runs all the UK public schools? The government, right? And stay with me, I'm not going to some conspiracy theory. So what agenda does the government actually have? Probably because student loans are their biggest asset, an asset worth over 180 billion and projected to be worth over 460 million by the year 2040. So now you know that uni isn't actually a decision that necessarily benefits you, but it benefits their pockets. And that's why you're pushed so hard down that route. Of course, it's also to, build a workforce and this kind of thing, but that's pretty generic, we all know that. And the next thing to consider when going to uni or not is to actually think about what you want out of life. What are your goals? At this stage, you probably want a lot of money, right? That's your goals, and that's of course why you've subscribed to me. But university is not a one-stop shop for achieving that. You will not make a lot of money out of the other end. Not only, of course, will you be in debt, but the average graduate salary in the UK in 2022 is £24,291 a year. Are you f***ing serious? So you are going to uni, putting yourself in tens and tens, sometimes even hundreds of thousands in debt, to get a 24k a year job. It's interesting because they tell you to go to uni so that you can graduate, get your degree, and ideally get a high paying job, but the majority of people don't break over 30k a year until they're at least 35 years old. And at that point, you're going to be paying back a portion of your student loan debt the entire time anyway, so the money that you make isn't total. So again, who is university really benefiting? When I was on my way out of college and told to go to university, I knew it wasn't the right thing to me purely because I had ambition of what I wanted to become. Now, I didn't have a clear idea, not at all. I actually had no clue, but I knew I wanted more. more, and that's just the first step. That's all you need. And so I did. I started my own agency, my coaching business, newsletter, personal brand. I made over 150k by the age of 19, and I developed skills on skills on skills, and I had just started. Whilst other 19-year-olds are at uni getting shit-faced every night with no clue what they actually want to do with life. And now this isn't to shit on those people at all. This is a wake-up call to actually, open your eyes and understand what's going on. And so if you're not looking to become a professional in something in which you need a uni degree, bear in mind 90% of jobs that say you need a uni degree, you don't actually need one, then really reconsider what would you go to uni for. But what does AI think about uni? That's something that I'm interested in. So let's see what ChatGPT has to say about going to university and why you should go to university. First thing is, of course, because of the high quality education. Now, this is very true, right? Universities, you pay a lot of money because you get educated on a very high level. But the thing is that you've got to think about the outcome. What is the result of that? You may get educated a fantastic amount in psychology or whatever it is, but unless you're going to be a psychologist, which for the majority of people is just an interest, there's no point in paying that money for that education. Such a small percentage of people that go to university not only use their knowledge from their university course, but also use their degree to find a career. Number 2, international recognition. Again, similar to the first one, TikTokers these days are making more than the majority of people with corporate jobs, so waffle. Cultural diversity, what? Career opportunities, again, as I said, the graduate market is so extremely overcrowded at the moment that the majority of people that graduate university are fighting with other graduates to try and get the same job. Search it up. It's literally up on Google. Affordable education. Okay, sure, education is more affordable in other parts of the world, but so is a £2,000 course online of A to Z of social media marketing or digital marketing or something like that. You will learn so much more from a modern day course that is actually adaptive to what's going on as per to a university degree on digital marketing. Pretty poor arguments from ChatGPT, if I do say so myself, but there you go, just to prove my point. So in conclusion, make your own decision, right? Make your own decision on what you want your next steps to be. But now you're aware of the actual dark side of university, if you like, hopefully it gives you some more clarity. And I've spoken to so many people that have done the uni run, done the uni passing and this kind of stuff, and they regret it immensely because the cons outweigh the pros. And of course, you're living at the moment, you're having a fantastic time clubbing every single night, but 4 years later, you're back at square one. So if you want more out of life, if you have ambition, then think bigger, take initiative and take a different route. There will always be a better option, I promise you that. And if you want to find out more about the route that I took myself, then check out this video on screen and it'll explain everything. Cheers, I'll see you in the next one.